Colby Covington ends up getting in some kind of a dust-up. I feel as though he was attacked, but maybe it's one of these cases where there's more footage out there and there's another side to it. From what I could see, he was standing there minding his own business, and Kamaru and his team come up, and I don't know that Kamaru actually did anything wrong, but it seemed as though Colby was greatly outnumbered and put in a pretty vulnerable situation. I think that Usman, in his defense, from what I saw, really was just doing what he may do in a normal situation, which is to verbally say something to Colby and leave it at that. Whenever these things turn physical, as compelling as they can be to watch, even a video on an iPhone, two fighters getting into something outside of the ring is compelling. But it makes my stomach drop in some of the... It makes me very nervous, too. It's not appropriate. But these guys are trained killers in an atmosphere that lacks jurisdiction. It lacks a referee. Right? I mean, you guys ever thought about it in those perspectives? Those fighters are warriors. They're killers. They're dangerous guys. But no matter what, when the referee says to do something, they do it. No matter what rules get broken over the history of this sport, that one never does. I mean, there's like an overriding force and law that we are going to adhere to whatever that guy says, even if he's wrong. Whether he wants to break us up, separate us apart, tell us to get busy, whatever it is that he does or says, we're going to do. And we don't have to. If we just went on and to hell with the rules, it's not as though he's going to be able to stop you. I mean, look at the boxing world. They got some of their best referees. These guys are pushing 80 years old. I mean, right? I'm making a very fair point here. That guy's not going to be able to stop you, but there is a level of respect, not always to your opponent, and maybe not even to that referee. There is a level of respect to the sport that you always have a referee and you always do what he says. So there is something that is very uneasy about those guys that you do want to see fight, you do want to see compete, you do want to see bring that energy and that animosity. We'll see all of those things, but when it's lacking the referee, there's something very uncomfortable about it. Because it could go to a place that nobody wants it to go. So when I see this and I see that Colby's outnumbered and I see these kinds of things going on, I'm just going, what the heck's going on here? Got to be careful in those spots. The words are okay. You can't be touching each other. And you can't be coming up with a mob mentality. There can't be 3-on-1. And guys, quite frankly, in fairness, if you go watch the video, perhaps that isn't even what happened. Perhaps Colby had guys with him, but that's not what I saw. And when he talked about it after the fact, he said, man, I was in line to get something to eat. Been a long day. So be careful enjoying that stuff as fans, because we really don't want to make the sport go in that direction. And it can quickly. It quickly can if guys think these spoofs and things like this and a time and a place and they kind of miss it and self-promote. You start to hear some of this stuff and it can be a slippery slope.